the Talmidim, my family, Aish HaTorah family. I asked Rabbi Rasmus to cancel my speaking after Rabbi Berkowitz spoke, because you could just go up from his words, from his description of my father, the description of his care for the Jewish people. So I'm not going to come to add, I'm not going to come to speak in a side to what he spoke. I'm just going to try to share as a son, as a family, things that I learned, things that I see, things that I feel that he would be saying at this time. The Father many times will speak about the fact that God speaks to us all the time. He speaks to us. We just have to be open to listen to what he's saying, to understand the message that he's speaking to us. He's all the time speaking to us. I can tell you that when my father was sick, I think the greatest pain that he had, and that's the only pain that he would express, he would tell me, Yehuda, he says, God is speaking to me. I just don't get the message. Hashem is telling me something. I want to understand what he's saying. Again and again he was saying it. And it bothered me so much. Until one day I tried to make up a story. And I said, Abba, did you ever hear such a thing, that the tzaddikim suffers for the generation? You probably be a tzaddik, you're suffering for the generation. It's not that Hashem is telling you something. You are perfect. It's just you suffering for the generation. He didn't buy my story. He said, Hashem is turning to me, he's speaking to me. I want to understand what he's saying. Because every opportunity has something to learn from. Obviously, we all know, and many, many times my father would say it, but we know it is true, there's no coincidence. I always tell people, this building is even more, a place that you never could say that there's coincidence. And when I was thinking about this day, and I realized that there might be a coincidence, but it's for sure not a coincidence, that today we're also marking the 30th day of the murder of one of us, of one of the rabbis, of one of the bnei chabura, someone part of this family that was murdered. And it's not by coincidence. It's so connected to the yahrzeit of my father. I'll say it's a little bit cynical, but this is really something that Rabbi Bichmacher beat my father. My father, if I could say, they had one prayer in his life that wasn't fulfilled. It was that my father would say that if my day comes, he would express, he says, I love life, I want to live a long life, forever. But when my day comes and I have to leave the world, he says, please God, make it by a terror attack. His tefillah wasn't fulfilled. Looks like it wasn't fulfilled. Rabbi Bichmacher got it. Because a person that lives his own life for the meaning of sanctifying Hashem, for Kiddush Hashem, this is his dream. I want the ultimate being close to Hashem. I want the ultimate Kiddush Hashem to be through me. Very similar to Rabbi Akiva. The Rabbi Akiva, it's written that when they took him out to kill Rabbi Akiva, and they was starting to kill him, He was saying the Shema, and he probably said the Shema very happily, very proud. And his students came over to him and he says, Rabbi, Ad Kan, so far a person has to be that even you're getting killed, you should be happy about it, you should be proud about it, that you're being killed for Hashem's name. And he said, my whole life I was worried about this line that we say, B'chol nafshecha, that we say that we're going to give our life. And now that it comes to me, I'm not going to do it with all the meanings of it. That's what was my father. His whole life, he was waiting for the moment that he's going to meet Hashem face to face. For the moment that he could live and understand and feel that his whole life is for Kiddush Hashem, is for being close to Hashem. That's why he was asking that in the end of his life should be, they would be murdered. But I think they made it, and I'll tell you why. Because one of my father's lines was, many, many times, he used to say, if you don't know what you're living for, you haven't started to live yet. If you don't know what you're willing to die for, you didn't start to live. If we don't know what we're willing to give our life for, we're just babies, as we used to say. And if you know what you're willing to die for, why don't you live for it? And there, he fulfilled it. He lived his own life for what he felt that he's willing to give his life for, Kiddush Hashem and being close to Hashem. All my wisdom comes from my father. My father had a special way of teaching us, giving us the understanding. We so like to see him, the Torah's Chaim, to see the instructions in life. This is not just a story. This is not just a show that we're doing. This is real life. And we could gain from every moment of it. And I think that my father would be standing here today and reading the Parsha and looking at a very scary thing that if we think about it today, it's some kind of a deja vu. The Jewish people is leaving Mitzrayim, and it's written, V'chamushim olu bnei Yisrael Mitzrayim. Chamushim, the explanation is 1/5. 1/5 of Am Yisrael left Mitzrayim. 80% stayed beyond. Why? Because they didn't believe. They didn't believe that we're going to be redeemed. They stayed behind. Those people that saw the 10 Makkos, the 10 plagues. Those people that saw the Egypt's already starting to believe in God, they prefer to look aside and they say, okay, not so bad. They stayed behind. But 20% came out. And why did they come out? The fact is that it's written that there was there was idol worshippers. There was on the lowest level that a Jew could be. How did they get the merit to come out? Chazal says they was proud to be Jewish. They was proud to be Jewish. Chazal says that they didn't change their names, they didn't change their language, they didn't change their clothes. My father would explain that they was proud about being Jewish. And the fact that they was proud about being Jewish gave them the merit to get out from Mitzrayim. I looked it up yesterday, and I saw that there is around 14 million Jews in the world, according to the numbers. How many religious Jews do we have? How many Jews do we have that know that there is a God? Close to 20%. All of us see that the Beis Hamikdash is coming, the Mashiach is coming, that the world is coming to an end. We keep ourselves alive because we are proud about being Jewish. For us, being proud about being Jewish is not just the symbols, as we understand we have the Torah's Chaim, because this is the way that my father taught us. This is the way that he saw that he could connect Jews to Judaism if you showed them how beautiful Judaism is. But we're still only in 20%. Mashiach is going to come. Our job is the other 80%. We have to make sure that they are proud about being Jewish, that they understand what does it mean to be Jewish. My father's job won't be done until we make sure that not just 20% is going to be redeemed, 100%. Hashem wants every one and one of his children. He wants to see everyone. And the Yehuda is going to come when everybody is going to be connected. And thank God we have the privilege, we have the schus, the merit to be here and to be on the team. To be on the team of God. To be on the team, but we have a way to go. And I think today, in the yahrzeit of my father, this is what needs to be standing in front of our eyes. It's unbelievable what we have done. And we really have done. So much, so many programs, so many people took responsibility. But we have so many more Jews that's waiting. And Hashem wants 100%.
We're going to bench now, and then immediately after benching, we have documents here. Lebanese Siddur, there's Siddur in the back, waiting for us.